what's up, fight fans? Your man 3K the Boss, a.k.a. Mr. Two Hands Up. You know what it is. All right, who we have here is Joel Diaz, respected trainer amongst all of, the professionals in the boxing world. And he used to be a top prospect and a top contender and a contender of two championship appearances. The second one he didn't necessarily get to make. He would have been fighting Stevie Johnston after he came off a knockout win that made him #1, but due to a detached retina and going blind in one eye, he wasn't able to do so. He also comes from a fighting family with Antonio Diaz and Julio Diaz, who actually became a world champion. So, this guy really knows his shit. And the reason why I'm showing you pictures of this fighting family is because Mr. Diaz himself did an interview with Fight Hype recently, and he expanded on a couple of things and that I already said in a video before. So I wanted to highlight those things, and I wanted to break it down and talk to y'all about it. Let's go.
Sport. First of all, what did you make of Andy Ruiz's upset victory over Anthony Joshua?
It was a great upset, a great upset. Having the first Mexican-American heavyweight champion in boxing history, obviously, it's great because, he's Mexican. And, that's something that gives a lot of people a lot to talk about. And it's a great move for the sport of boxing. Now people are looking forward to the rematch.
What's your outlook on the rematch?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't take anything from Andy Ruiz, and I know that from 100 people you asked, you think Andy Ruiz has a chance for the fight. Honestly, I didn't. I don't like to be a hypocrite. I tell you how it is. Going into that fight, based on the statistics, Andy Ruiz was a replacement. Because the previous opponent for Anthony Joshua ended up positive for PEDs. So bringing Andy Ruiz as a replacement, basically, 100% of the time, he's just an opponent. So honestly, when I saw that fight in the making, I never gave Andy Ruiz a chance. I can tell you this right now.
All right, fight fans. So I'm going to jump in right there. That's 100% facts. You wouldn't have gave him a chance. The next person beside you wouldn't have gave him a chance. A lot of individuals wouldn't have gave him a chance. 90% of the boxing world with the pulse wouldn't have gave him a chance. Now, a couple of people that, might be some hardcore nationalists, and, they might have gave him a chance, but that wouldn't be my take. So, if, Joel Diaz can tell you that he didn't give him a chance, so you got to understand how Andy Ruiz feels and the rest of the world, when basically Anthony Joshua feels, and the rest of the world, and they basically saying, hey, man, this dude is trash. There's some fat boy nobody want to jump in the ring with, man. He the replacement of the other replacement, man. Like, he's like the fifth guy down the list. See, these were some of the things I was saying. And, I got ridiculed for by people saying, other individuals have said these things before. And if they said it, shit, I didn't hear it. But, everybody has certain things dawn on different people at different times. So, I don't hold it against anybody in the comment section that feels like this was a redundant literature to them. But speaking on this situation, absolutely, I have to agree with him 1,000%. Well, let's see where he's going with this. I'll digress.
I see a lot of people, they say, oh, I knew he was going to win, and I had a feeling he was going to win. That's just, honestly, to me, that's bullshit, just because he won now. I'm very happy that he won. It's impressive to see Andy Ruiz show his heart and determination to finish Anthony Joshua the way he did. Man, Andy Ruiz, after the fight, much respect for Andy Ruiz.
Now, boxing fans, this is why I don't want you guys to get it confused, because I do not believe that Andy Ruiz was going to win that fight, or I was pro Anthony Joshua. Does not mean that I don't respect him for what he pulled off with four other individuals did not have the heart to do. He stepped in and he saved the day, and he got what he deserved. you know. But so don't get that twisted with the fact of whatever my commentary is. I'm gonna call it exactly how I see it. I'm not gonna sugarcoat the truth for you or anyone else, and that's pretty much what this gentleman is telling you right now. And shit, like that should be enough. In boxing, we should be able to disagree with one another and it not turn into a goddamn Twitter finger war.
Reese.
But I'll
But
digress.
from the beginning, I never thought he was going to win. And now going into the rematch, I think in the rematch, Anthony Joshua would win because now he has to make adjustments. He has to go back to camp and make adjustments. And the reason why is this. In boxing, every fighter steps up to the level of opposition. And in my opinion, I think that night, Anthony Joshua walked in against an Andy Ruiz thinking, man, you know, this is an easy fight for me. So mentally, he wasn't ready for an Andy Ruiz that was hungry that night. And I know that coming into the rematch, Anthony Joshua is coming in with a different mentality. This kid is dangerous. He's a big threat. Now I have to prepare myself differently and come to the fight with a different mentality that this guy is very dangerous. That's how I see it. You know, I could be wrong, but that's my prediction.
Everything this gentleman is saying is 100% facts, fight fans. And this is another thing. And I wanted to say this to all of the guys that truly believe that Andy Ruiz is going to win, that comes to my channel in the comment section or whatever. And, you know, I talk to y'all guys. Y'all say some funny shit, you know, whether it's about Wilder, whether it's about Ruiz or whatever. And I'll comment back with you guys. You know what I mean? We can talk shit, you know what I mean, but be respectful about it to where we not being blatantly disrespectful. This is boxing. We should all be able to agree to disagree. But anyway, on what he was saying, Anthony Joshua's mentality is going to be rock solid. I think all he's been doing is mentally focusing up. But I'm not going to keep repeating that. But what I wanted to say about Andy Ruiz fans is this. See, when I look at whether it's Deontay Wilder or Andy Ruiz, and I make my hypothetical prediction, or I just give you my hypothesis, and I generate and form an opinion on who I feel is going to win, who I feel is going to lose. I'm not doing that based on favoritism. I hope you guys understand that. I hope you guys understand that I watch just as much tape on Anthony Joshua as I do on Deontay Wilder, Luis Ortiz, Tyson Fury, Andy Ruiz, because I mentioned that Andy Ruiz was a threat a long time ago, if you guys have been following me. So basically what I'm saying to you guys is this. I know a lot of you are so pro Deontay Wilder that you might be rooting for Andy Ruiz in that regard, or you're so pro or you're so anti Anthony Joshua that, you know, you're going for Andy Ruiz and you're looking at that knockout like that's truly him because you probably don't even take in his bouts or really watch his bouts wholeheartedly and look at the fighter for what he really is. See, when I look at fighters, I don't just get on here and hate, or I just don't formulate an opinion that is just frivolous or just coming out the side of my neck. I make very rational decisions when I analyze these fighters, these fights coming up. And that's why I make my factual basis off of, or what I believe to be fact, until I can actually see the bout and see what happens. So when I'm saying Anthony Joshua's going to do this or do that in the rematch, yes, I might be a very big fan of Anthony Joshua, but I'm a fan of Andy Ruiz, you know. And I would be a fan of Deontay Wilder too if he carried himself differently. So basically what I'm saying is this. I make a very, very sound hypothesis when it comes to analyzing these fighters. So when you guys make your decisions, I hope you're doing the same thing instead of just looking at it like, oh, he's going to get floored. I hope you guys looked at the first 3 rounds and look at the outcome of what was going to take place if it continued in that direction. So if you believe Anthony Joshua is going to lose, cool. But like I said, make a sound prediction on what you feel is going to happen. Just not that, oh, he got dropped 4 times in the comments or whatever. I want to hear a sound prediction on what you believe is going to happen if you truly believe in Andy Ruiz, because I would really like to know if you guys would bet your last dollar that Andy Ruiz is going to be successful. If so, that's cool. But I'm just saying, I'm not just picking anybody to win any bout off of favoritism or just because of disdain for another person outside of Deontay Wilder, but I'll still be realistic. I'll hope that, he gets his head knocked off because how he hijacks the WBC. But when it comes to being realistic, I know who Deontay Wilder will beat, and I know who he will lose to. The same as Andy Ruiz, the same as Anthony Joshua, etc., etc. But that's that. I truly believe Andy Ruiz is in a position to get double jabbed all night, and Anthony Joshua will find him with a hook and drop him. He's going to use the range. He's going to use the quickness of his footwork. The height and the reach is just going to be too much. It's going to be a completely different fight when a man is truly focused. So I agree with, what he's saying 1,000%. But I'll digress.
Wow, that's interesting. A lot of people are taking Ruiz in the rematch. How was he able to beat Joshua? He was quick on the inside, and obviously you feel that Joshua kind of overlooked him going into that fight.
Well, I think Anthony Joshua overlooked him. He really did. He went in there and Anthony Joshua dropped Andy Ruiz. And then that's when Anthony Joshua himself said, man, this guy is done. I already got him, and I'm going to finish him. And that's his worst mistake. He got in there, and he got hit, and a couple of things that Andy Ruiz did that night, he landed some great shots on the right spot that didn't let Anthony Joshua recover through the remaining of the fight. So that's what happened. So hopefully, it's a great fight. The next one, I wish Andy Ruiz the best. Honestly, to me, if he wins, I'll be happy because he's a Mexican-American fighter. But take nothing from Anthony Joshua as well. He's a smart fighter. He's a tall, very athletic fighter. But I don't see the rematch Andy Ruiz winning it, even though he has the confidence that he already went in there. Honestly, on the rematch, I think Andy Ruiz is gonna go in there, try to look for the same type of fight he went in the first time, and he's gonna run into problems.
I couldn't have said it better myself. Andy Ruiz will go into this bout, and he's going to be looking for the exact same fight. You want to know why I'm saying that? This is why I'm saying that. Because Andy Ruiz thinks Joshua is a damn robot. That's what he felt after he fought him the first time. That's what he's been saying continuously in the media. That's how he's been trolling Anthony Joshua. So that's what he feels is going to happen. He's going to go into the first match. Anthony Joshua feels like he's going to go inside again, make the same mistake, and he's going to be able to repeat history. He has not said anything outside of what he's saying about Anthony Joshua right now since his head got big. Another thing, look at him and his wifey sitting on the Rolls Royce. He cheesing. Man, that motherfucker ain't did a lick of training. How you doing a lick of training, man? This man has not been training at all. All this man been doing, I'm telling you, man, from parade float to picture mounds, man. That's all he been doing, man. Snicker grease rolling off his fingertips. Just enjoying freaking free Snickers, man, and riding Rolls Royce all day. He ain't training for no fight. But yeah, that was a good, interesting interview. I really enjoyed it because, man, it burst a lot of people's bubble, man. Even, you know what I'm saying, like, so just because you Mexican, don't think a nigga's just rooting for niggas, man. You got niggas of his own nationality that's telling him he gonna catch the L. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that, man, because you should be able to speak the truth and be realistic about the situation. Realistically, we're going to have to see what happens on December 7th, but I just don't think lightning is going to strike in the same place twice. But as we always say at the end of this joint, it costs you nothing to pay a nigga no mind.